Boom. Okay. Can you hear me now? Yes, Aces, I'm struggling because I started from scratch. Do you know why? Because I realized that I couldn't film OBS and teach OBS live. However, then I realized I could if I started again from scratch. But literally starting again from scratch meant that my everything's disconnected, including the microphone. So I saw a picture of my face and I could hear my voice going around, so I thought everything was good. So now we have the microphone, it's cool. This is why it's only the basics class and it's not advanced. So yeah. So welcome to the stream, guys. All that jibber jabber that was just miming earlier to just say thank you very much for being in the stream. Welcome John, welcome Aces. We have Mike and we have Stefan in the chat. They're gonna be on the lesson with us live, hopefully, which is gonna be a little bit better than we started out. Fingers crossed. And we're going to take it from there. Thank you very much for being here, guys. Glad to be at 300 subs. We are at 57.57% of the goal that we are aiming for at the moment. We just want to get there. So thank you for all your love and support to help it on its way. Thank you. So, yeah, get the excuses out of the way now. Yeah, you see, this is why, like, it's a basics. It's not advanced. Sorry. Okay. So, Stefan, you with me? Mike, you with me? Okay, guys, that's brilliant. So, I take it you guys have your OBS software open in front of you right now. Excellent. Okay, so I'm just going to explain again. So basically, because we're starting this from scratch, I don't have the bits set up that I'm telling them to do right now, but you're going to see that in just a second, and I will run through it again once it's actually on the screen. So you guys are going to go to, in your top menus at the top, you have File, Edit, View. You're going to go to Scene Collection. And you click new on scene collection. It's going to bring you up an option to have a look at please enter a name of the scene collection. So you're going to call that whatever you want, whatever the name of your stream is, you're going to call it that, for example. Okay. Are you again? Okay, let's see. That's not on there. The audio output. Uh,
Audio is a pain in the
ass. That's why we're going through it today. All right. Excellent. So everybody can be heard. Speak, guys, just so that they know that there's other people here with me, and that I'm not just pretending on my own. Okay, that's good. Excellent. So they know now. All right, good stuff. So this is what it's like resetting everything from the beginning. It literally just takes away every single aspect of everything that you thought was even remotely there. So let's see here. Let's go to this other thing. So did you guys have set up your scene, right?
Yeah, scene collection, and then enter the name of your scene collection. That's where I'm left off. I haven't hit OK yet.
Yep.
Okay, that is really cool. So, see, oh, you picked your name?
Yeah, I put the name in, but I haven't hit OK yet.
Yeah, you guys hit OK. You're good to go.
Okay, done.
All right. So, what you should have now is a scene in front of you with a scene in the corner, on the bottom left corner, and you should have sources, to which there should currently be none, I would imagine.
Correct.
You see the same thing, Stefan?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
that's great. So, to get to where I currently am showing on screen right now, we have to add what's known as sources. So, you can start with your display capture, for example, as the first one. So what that's going to do, that's going to give you the main body of your live stream or your video. Okay? So to do that, in the bottom corner, again, where it says scenes in the bottom left corner, next to that where it says sources, there's a little plus button at the bottom. If you guys
Okay,
go
got
ahead
that.
and click that plus button, what it should do for
Should be a
you,
whole bunch.
a bunch of options right now, right? Excellent. So what you want to do is you want to click on the window capture option. And then it will offer you to either create a new window capture or to add an existing, but you don't have an existing as yet. So you're now going to go to create new and click OK. Are you there?
Yep, gotcha. So in
Yep.
where it says create new, right now it says window capture.
Excellent. So you have a mini Windows just popped up in front of you now, right?
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
It looks like your stream.
Okay, that's very cool. So that means that it's focused on the window that you're currently looking at. That properties window here, you have three main things that you're able to control in here. So you can see the window at the top. So you have obviously as in the top of the options. So the first one is window. So what you choose for this is a choice of whatever it is that you want to depict on the screen. So it would normally be whatever your sim is that you're running, or if you were trying to show something that you a desktop application that you were doing, you would select it from this drop down menu here of available options, right?
Yeah, and there's a yellow, the browser has a yellow outline now.
The browser has a yellow outline now.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, that's okay. That just means that it's selected, so that's alright. That's not a problem. Okay, so it has here the next option is capture method. You can just leave that on automatic. And below it has window match priority. That's your next option. So you guys can leave it. You have three options in there, and it says window title must match, which gives it a very strict parameter where if the window that you choose at the top option, if it doesn't find that exact name, it won't post anything. So you have the second option, which is match title, otherwise find a window of the same type. So for example, if you normally run one type of sim, and that would have been the option that would be selected at the top. If, for example, you ran a different sim, OBS would roughly figure out that you're still trying to stream your game, so it would stream the most similar thing. So this is why we're going to go for option number 2, which is match title, otherwise find window of the same type.
Okay, done.
Okay, so that gives you it gives OBS a little bit of flexibility for you so that you can change sim without having to tell it specifically, well, now I'm playing Dirt Rally 2, or now I'm playing ACC, or now I'm going to be playing on Automobilista 2. It takes care of that for you. So if you guys go ahead and click OK with that, what are you seeing in your windows right now?
stream.
You're seeing the stream. Okay, so your window capture, I take it, Stefan, was set to pick up your Google Chrome, I'm guessing, right?
Yes.
Okay, which is perfectly fine. So you understand, obviously, you will substitute that for whatever else it is that you actually want to stream when you get to that point, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's absolutely brilliant. Mike, you're still cool too, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. The next thing that we are going to do is we're going to add a backup. And the reason we're going to add a backup is that sometimes, for technical reasons that are beyond my understanding, sometimes it's just magic or whatever the situation may be. Sorry, let me just pull my chat back up over here. Hey, Evelio, what's going on, buddy? Can you start from the beginning jokes? Hey, Richie, what's up, bud? Sorry, yo, I had the chat down for a sec, guys. Sorry, but yeah, glad you guys are here. So all right. So just to not cause yourself any problems, you're gonna create yourself a backup. So you're gonna go back down to that same little plus icon that we went to at the bottom,
Right.
and you're gonna hit that plus, but this time you're gonna select display capture.
Okay.
All right. So with this display capture, I would honestly just leave it on that name so that I know exactly what it is. If you go ahead and hit OK with that, it's gonna bring you to a very similar window to what you had before, right?
Yes, that's right. Except we only get two options now.
Excellent. Capture method and which display it is that you're looking for, right? So
Correct.
it's perfectly fine to leave capture method on automatic and display. For example, for myself, I currently have this pointing at display number 1. Okay, so that's what it's showing up for me. Whichever display it is that you want to show, because I have more than one screen, whichever screen it is that you want to show as your screen that you're running your sim or your program or your desktop thing that you're trying to show, set that display number into this display option here, and you are good to go. And you're going to click OK on that.
Okay, done.
Excellent. So now what you have is two options, I believe now. So you should see window capture and display capture in your sources. Is that correct?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes, it
So
is.
what you guys can now just start to test out here is this. Next to those two things, you can see there's an eye icon and a lock icon. You guys see that,
Okay,
right?
yeah. Yeah, I see
Okay,
it.
cool. If you click the eye on display capture, this is assuming display capture is above window capture. If you click that eye icon,
Display is above window capture.
that's correct. Yeah, I'm assuming that's how you have it. So if you click the eye icon, what happens?
I get a slash through the eye and it grays out the display capture.
Excellent.
Yep. Yep.
What do you have for your window capture? What's your window capture set to?
So right now, before I've touched the eye, the window capture shows as white and the eye has no slash through it.
Excellent.
Window capture, yeah. The eye is a slash, but there's nothing being shown.
Excellent. Okay, so that's how you turn on and off the visibility for your display if you want that shown or if you want that hidden in that moment. Okay?
Okay.
All
Okay.
right, great. Next to that is also a lock option. So that lock option does exactly what you think it does. You click that, and that way your display capture doesn't move, and none of the settings can be changed on it until such a time as you uncheck that lock option.
Okay.
All right, that's great. So we have window capture and display capture for now. The next thing you want to do is to try to add your camera. Now I just want to make it clear just in the lesson, if anybody's watching this back later on and to you guys right now, just to understand that the order in which I'm doing this is somewhat important, but once you understand what it is that you're doing, it's going to become you be able to be more flexible with the order of which you do things here. So this order isn't necessarily set in stone, but it is important that some parts happen in front of other parts, because if you don't do it that way, you're going to end up with an issue. So But again, it becomes more flexible the more you understand. So the next thing you guys are going to do, you're going to hit that plus sign again. And this time you're going to go to video capture device.
Okay, I'm in there.
Excellent. So you have a create new in the dialog box that's popped up. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're going to hit OK on that. And then that's going to take you to an additional dialog box that's going to pop up as well. And in that, the first thing that you want to do is in the device menu at the top, select the option that is your actual webcam.
Okay.
All
That's
right.
easy.
Straightforward, right? So that's the thing. I'm not here showing you guys what's up because I'm a genius, because I've not been feeling like one lately. It's really simple. It's just knowing what to click. That's all. It's literally that. So next to it, underneath, as the next drop down option, you have a resolution or FPS type. So I leave it on device default. I don't think there's any reason to kind of mess with that. You can adjust the camera settings manually somewhat, because as you can see on the stream right now, for example, my camera doesn't look anywhere near how it would normally look. My green screen's all hanging out the wrong way and all this type of stuff, but it's just literally for the purposes of demonstration. So I'll show you how to adjust your camera sizes and how to manually crop your camera as well.
Question,
Sorry?
on the device selection, um, I I have the Zoom cam, of which I'm using right now.
Okay.
I have the IV cam. That's the software that allows you to use the iPhone.
Okay.
And then I have the Game Capture HD 60S Plus. So if I was going to capture video coming out of the game computer, that's the one I would pick.
The one you're looking for right now, you're really looking for whatever your webcam is going to be. So the camera that points at you, whatever your webcam. So I think you were saying your iPhone is what you're trying to use for your webcam kind of thing. Is that correct?
Later on, but not right now. But the question is, I have between the two computers,
Uh-huh.
the device called a HD60S Plus. It's by Elgato. It be, well, let's go on. Let's skip that part and go. I got everything set up like everybody else. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Let's just clarify this thing here now, because no, that's gonna come back to bite you. So like, let's try and get the right understanding now.
Go ahead.
Okay. All you're looking for here is whatever camera device you're going to be filming yourself on. So, if the Elgato doesn't film you, right? But it might catch the footage, but it doesn't film you directly, does it?
Correct.
Excellent. So all you care about is whatever camera is actually going to be on you. And if you do have the option to select the camera itself over the camera's software, that's definitely a better choice as well where possible.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Cool. So yeah, that's basically it. But like, if you try to connect it to the Elgato from this, it's not gonna put you in that picture where you're trying to be. It's gonna put whatever the gameplay is or whatever the situation, I imagine.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. So let's see here. We're gonna leave it on device default for the resolution and resolution type. Um, yeah, buddy, they're all learning today, man. But what's up, Richie? So yeah, the FPS, you have color space, you can leave that on default. That really doesn't bother me right now. The color range, you can leave that on default as well. Buffering, auto detect, all that stuff's all fine. The audio output mode. Let's see here. You don't even need to do that. You can just leave that on capture for now. That's perfectly fine, and you guys can hit OK. So, Mike, have you got a camera running, or are you just following the steps of this part for now?
Yeah, no, I don't have the camera running yet. I'm just following the steps, but I'm definitely gonna look back on this and like relook at all these settings. That's why I've been quiet because I don't really have a camera set up yet.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. That's all right. So as long as you guys can roughly understand it, most of what you're gonna do in this involves you clicking something, finding the thing, and activating the correct option in the drop-down menu. It's literally that simple. So going through these steps, it should be pretty easy, especially paired with the video, to be able to go back. I hope, fingers crossed. So that's the camera. So we have a window capture, we have a display capture, we have a camera, but we have no audio for you guys yet. So the next thing that you want to do, you're going to go back to the very same plus at the bottom again. And this time you're going to be looking for audio input capture. And you're going to click that. So in my version, I write headset mic in that because I know that that's what mic I'm going to be using. However, I do have the big boom mic, so if I use that, I have a different version for this. You can have multiple versions of this, so you don't have to just click that button once and generate one. You can generate 5 if you need to from 5 different versions of an input, but for now we're just literally running through one. You guys with me still, yeah?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep,
alright, that's
loud and
cool.
clear.
Alright, so you've clicked your plus, it's brought up your little dialog box here again, or the option box, and it's going to be create new. So you're going to call that whatever you want to call your main input for now, your main microphone input for now. And you're going to click OK on that. It's literally going to give you one option that's important to you right now, which is this device. So you're going to select which device it is that you specifically want to use. Now, you could leave it on default, but I found myself in a problem many times because when things go on in the computer in between, weird updates happen, things switch off. Default can really screw you up. So a lot of the time, I like to just very specifically select the actual device I'm going to be using. So in this instance, I would pick for myself my microphone, which is the HyperX Cloud Stinger wireless headset out of this list here. That's the one that I would choose. That makes this work. I've already done it, so I don't need to do it again. But whatever microphone works for you guys is the one that you want to select out of that list as your primary microphone.
Done. Yeah, the Zoom camera is broadcasting. So yeah, it came on. We're all good.
Okay, that's perfect.
Okay, I have a
And
question.
go ahead.
Okay, so I've set my headset microphone for my device. Now the box underneath says use device timestamps. Are we doing anything with that?
Nah, ignore that. Just I've never used that in my life before, and I'm not trying to make the I don't want the computer doing any kind of digital calculation it doesn't need to do. So me trying to make the audio match to some timestamp, I just want it to just do it live and the two things just match together as I'm actually doing it, and I don't want it to figure something out because sometimes that's how you get weird little delays on people's streams. Sometimes you see their voice doesn't match the action or whatever. I don't want to generate any of that, so I have never messed with it. You're free to do so if you like, but that's not for me. Um,
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I'll leave it. I'll
yeah,
leave it unchecked then.
yeah, it's never screwed me up so far. So I'm gonna back out of this, but you guys are obviously gonna select OK, and that's gonna be your microphone in place. So fellas, if you just want to read out to me what you have right now, because yours is very slightly
Mic
different to mine.
audio. Your mic audio is one funny. If you have a Go XLR, plug it in and plug it back out.
My mic audio, what, sorry?
I don't know if you have any audio effects on, but I think if you have a Go XLR, unplug it and replug it back in.
If I have a what, sorry?
Go XLR. It's an
XLR.
audio mixer device.
No, but I
Yeah.
literally no. I don't have anything on. I just literally
Okay,
have
I would
my own voice.
recommend you changing your audio mixer device because it's went basically fuzzy. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how long it's been like that. This is going so well for you. Good luck.
Yeah, cheers, bud. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you could run your audio, everything through a mixer. And then, yeah.
Yeah, it's not running through a mixer right now, and I'm not trying to find the mixer right now, unfortunately. That, yeah, so I don't know.
Right now we
One
have
second. How's the audio now? Is it still messed up now? Like you guys can hear me just fine, right?
sounds good to me here.
And
Yeah,
the
sounds good to me as well.
There's a kind
okay.
of a British accent.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to deal with that, Stefan. All right. Aces, I hope. Can I get a thumbs up if it's cool now, or is it not cool now? What's the deal, bud? I don't know if it messed up because it. Oh, that's why it's done it. It's because it thinks I want to. Here you go. Back to normal now, innit? Yeah, it's cool. It just doubled up. That was all. It's because I added the other one, just walking you guys through it so that the step was on the screen. So that was all. It just fuzzed from that, I think. Okay, so what do you guys have? Go through with me again. We have window capture.
So, okay, so starting at the top, I have headset mic,
Okay,
then video capture device,
okay.
then display capture,
Uh-huh.
then window capture.
Excellent. Okay, the next one that we want to add, you're going to go to the bottom again. You're going to hit plus. This time you're looking for audio output capture, so that's the second option.
Okay.
Alright, so if you click OK in that little dialog box that jumps up, your device here, you're looking for whatever it is that you can hear, wherever your source of sound is actually coming from, is the thing that you want to select on this list. So for me, I select my headphones. So I literally am going to pick out of there HyperX Cloud Stinger Wireless, because that's the headphones I'm using right now. I want everybody who's on my stream to hear what I'm hearing. So for that to work, I choose the device I'm listening to. What you guys need to do is select the relevant device to what it is that you're hearing. That's what people will hear on stream.
Is it supposed to? Mine is checked. Use device timestamps. Already checked.
Yeah, mine's already checked as well. So if that's the case, let's just leave that as it is. I've never messed with that. I have no intention of messing with it. If the default's that on that, so be it. That's okay. You're just gonna click OK on that, and I think mine's working alright, and I've already done one. So you click OK with that, and you're good to go.
Okay. Done.
Alright. So right now you should have audio. You should have let's see here. Not video, that's me.
Headset mic.
Yeah, so you have audio, headset mic, camera, display capture, window capture, right?
Yeah, that's
Excellent.
exactly what I have. Yeah.
Good stuff. There you go.
The video is one window on the OBS is the capture of the Chrome screen, and then the other one that I can shrink back and forth is the camera that's on me.
Excellent. That's brilliant. Okay, so that's good. So now you can see how, in its very, very basic form, how it is that you can create a live stream. Essentially, right now, this is you are most of the way there. What you haven't done right now is some of in the background settings, which we're going to go through in a minute, to be able to actually make this part connect to your YouTube live stream if that's what you're doing. It's very slightly different for Twitch, but the principle is roughly the same. Okay?
Okay.
So, for now, this is it. If at any point you want to stop showing something, if you want the sound to cut, you would literally click the eye icon on your desktop audio, for example, and that will mute your sound instantly. You can do the very same with your microphone. Literally any one of those options, that eye icon cuts it right out of the situation. So you can immediately get rid of that. The lock icons next to it, lock them in place and make sure that they cannot be manipulated. So you can't move them around the screen, you can't change the size, you can't do anything whilst it's like that. So we're all good so far, guys, yeah?
Yeah, all good on my end.
Alright, that's perfect.
Do you know why? Never mind. Go ahead.
No, please ask the question.
Oh, just my keyboard. No, go. Never mind. Go ahead.
Okay, alright. So, with all of that set up now, what you don't have are your streaming settings, right? So what you have now is you've set up your collection of scenes, your scene collection as it were. That's how you name all of your individual projects. So let's just go back to this just for a very quick sec. So at the top left hand corner, let's just go back and have a quick look at your scene collection. This is something that's massive. Richie, who's in the chat, can testify to this because he seen me mess this up about 6 weeks ago. If you want to create a different set of sources altogether, if you want to say, for example, you want to be doing a different project, so you want to do one is sim racing, and this is your sim racing setup we're doing here, and you want to do one for your fishing project, say, for example, where it says scene collection at the top, that's where you would go and you would generate a new scene collection. From there, you would be able to select it from a list that generates itself at the bottom here. That way, everything that's set up down here is very specific to each one of these individual products. So I'm not trying to put this right now. I'm not going to mess around with this at this precise moment in time. But if you ever needed to make a second set of setups for streaming, you would do it through this option here. You would not do it by going in here and manipulating your current sources on your current scene collection. Because if you don't change that, Challenger Sim Racing goes bye-bye, for example. If I was to start pulling pieces out of that, right? Without making sure that I was on the correct thing. So as you see here, I'm checked with OBS basics. Very, very important to remember that. If not, there may be tears. Okay?
Okay, got it.
Cool. So, let's go into the bottom right hand corner here to have a look at settings, because this part is really important for you to be able to get connected in this basic format. I'm not trying to say you're going to go and stream like this, obviously, but in this basic format here, just to make sure that you can actually connect to being online. So, bottom right corner, there's a bunch of options. Settings is the one that we're going to go to.
Okay.
Alright, so in here you can do all kinds of cute things like change your theme and stuff like that. You guys are free to look through that in your own time. That's definitely not a problem. The most important thing you need to see in here, you want to go down to where it says stream on the left hand side. Unfortunately, I cannot manipulate this right now because we're currently streaming using this software. But in here is a drop down menu, as you've seen with the other things that we've fixed so far, camera, display, etc. This gives you the option to go through for YouTube, Twitch. I think it had Mixer at one point, Caffeine. I think it gives you all these different options of potential streaming platforms. For us, we are obviously going to select YouTube out of there because that's what it is that we're trying to get taken care of. Okay? On the
Okay,
server,
question.
go ahead.
So for me, there's two YouTube selections. There's a YouTube RTMP and there's a YouTube RTMPS.
And I have YouTube and YouTube Gaming.
I have YouTube HLS and YouTube RTMPS.
That's weird. Let me Google that really quickly. Alright. Never, ever, 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 ever be afraid to Google stuff. So, uh, let's see here. OBS. YouTube. Would you call it RM what?
Mine is YouTube-RT MPS.
RTMP.
RTMP.
And then I have YouTube HLS.
Alright, let's see what it's out here. Okay, yeah, because mine gives me YouTube gaming, so apparently this is actually a thing. What's going on here now?
There's also yeah, I found the HLS one too when I hit show all.
Alright, so we've always streamed our church services using the YouTube Gaming. The discovered another one, YouTube RTMP. They're the same. YouTube simply wanted to consolidate the name and roll out testing for RTMPS and HLS, which are streaming protocols. Okay, cool. So yeah, it literally makes no difference whatsoever, I guess, as long as you select YouTube. So that's cool.
Yep.
Alright, good.
Alright.
So underneath it has server. What do you guys have in there for your server options?
Primary.
Okay, I'll let you go first.
Oh, I just says primary YouTube something server.
Excellent. And legacy RTMP in brackets, right?
No.
Okay, alright. As long as it has YouTube in there, primary YouTube ingest server, you're good to go.
Okay.
Alright, cool. So the next thing it's
Okay,
asking for is a stream key. Do you guys know what a stream key is?
Oh,
No.
Alright, good. So, this is the next part which might have to get rolled over into the next lesson depending on how easy it is for you guys to access this right now. So, in your YouTube, when you live stream, let's see here. Can I show it to you without causing myself a problem? Let's see. No, it won't show me it here now. Okay, so let's cancel that. Let's come out of that for a second. You guys haven't added a stream key. So, do you, well, Mike, I know you do. You definitely do have your YouTube channel set up.
yeah. Hang on though. I'm just going in there to try and find the stuff.
Okay. Stefan, do you have a YouTube channel set up to broadcast on yet?
I just have a regular account.
You just have a regular account.
I upload my videos to it.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. So yeah, that means you can get a stream key too. Everybody can get a stream key. You get a stream key, you get a stream key. That's perfect. So we're going to locate your stream key, and that's what we're going to put inside of the third option that was in the streaming settings option. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Excellent. Okay, so the way that I get my stream key, I get mine by clicking my icon in the right corner, my little logo for myself. Let's go here.
Okay.
Alright. I will go to YouTube. Sorry, I'm not putting this on my main screen. That's part of my problem here. Settings. Permissions. Nope. Channel. Advanced. Nope. Nope. We don't care about that. Okay. If you go to your create button. And then you were to click go live. Tell me what you see.
The screen turns black, says welcome to new YouTube live control room. Right now start or later date start.
Click later date for now.
Built-in webcam select or streaming software select.
Streaming software select.
Okay, I'll let Mike go. I use my space bar as my mic key. I've got to change that because it keeps activating stuff on here. So
Yeah, I can imagine.
go ahead.
Yeah, that's okay. So this is just literally the part to help you locate the stream key right now. So once you get to the window, it should take you. You've done that part now, right? You told it was okay, yeah?
I think.
Okay. So what screen can you see now?
I am on YouTube Help Center something, so I got to go back here.
Okay.
But I need to change my key or it keeps activating the stuff. So why don't you go ahead with Mike and I got to change my key.
Okay, so you can see where the key is though, right?
I think I can find it. Yeah, I just
Okay, good. That's it. That's all you need to worry about. That thing that you can find, copy that, and that's what we're gonna put back into OBS. So all I'm doing right now is just trying to get you there, but it looks a bit different for me than it does for you, because I've obviously done live streams many times before, so I'm not gonna get the intro screen, right?
okay. Now that should act. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I had to get rid of the mic key, so now I just voice activated. So
Excellent. Yeah, that's
I
cool. Yeah, I've pushed the talk, right?
yeah, I have push to talk on the other computer with the mic, on the wheel, but on the desktop, this computer I got to do voice activating. So I'll go back and try to find out that key.
Okay. All right. So I think you're really close though. To you're right almost at the part where you get the key. But that key is what you're gonna copy into where it says settings and stream is the third option. You're gonna click apply once you've put that in so that it sets and OK. And you can show your stream key. You would never ever 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 show that online. So never have that window in a place where you could accidentally click show while you're online, because that puts you in a position where people can literally record your screen key and live stream using that very same key just by plugging it into a random account. So be very, very careful never to show that online just for a security thing, okay?
Okay.
Alright, good stuff. So guys, that is you to the place where you can basically stream. You can have a camera, you can have a microphone, you can have your display being shown, right? Your display obviously can be anything up to your game, your desktop, whatever it is that you want, and yeah, and your microphone's connected. So and the audience can hear what you can hear so far. So it doesn't look pretty right now, but that's the very, very basics of how to just get it running. Cool?
Cool.
Yep. Cool. Cool.
Excellent. All right, good stuff. So, if we're all right with that so far, I've put together. Actually, wait. Let's just have a quick look because there's a other option here which I won't be able to exactly follow along with you guys, but I can sort of talk you through it, which is this. So on your right hand side, there is a where the controls are. There's a start recording button, right? That start recording, if you were to tap that right now, that would literally record all of the things that we have going on right now instead of streaming it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I use that for like when I do replays.
Excellent. So, the difference between the recording and the streaming is literally one's going to go out live and the other one's going to dump on your computer directly. You do have an option, there is an option in the settings to be able to record your live stream and stream at the same time. So that would mean that your computer would automatically make a copy of your live stream. That can be done at the same time while you send out a live stream signal. So you have that as an option as well. But in truth, if you do a lot of videos, your computer would get filled up incredibly quickly. So it's usually better to just have it so that it goes directly to YouTube. You can always download your own video later on if you needed to. So that's well worth bearing in mind. Cool?
I have a window that says ready in 24 hours. It takes 24 hours to activate your account for live streaming. Once activated, you can go live instantly.
Excellent. Yes, because
Yeah,
you're
I got the same window popped up when I tried to get my stream key.
right. Yeah, because you guys are brand new. So wait your 24 hours, and then your stream key becomes available, and then we would put it in that place as we showed there. Right? The settings, stream options, third option down, you'd paste your stream key in there. Right?
Right.
Right.
Okay. Very, very basic, very simple. Now, you can change the resolution of your camera, but for example, I don't want to show this much of my space, right? Where I am right now. So I want to manipulate this, for example, and I want to make it different. So I'm happy for my background to fit as it has done. I want it to be 1920 by 1080 so that I'm definitely streaming in at least that, but my camera I'm not happy with. So for me to change the camera, normally you would hold the shift button with most applications, but this, if you hold the control button and you move your mouse to one of these corners here where you see these square boxes, you can hold that and you can reduce the size of your camera, or you can increase the size of your camera depending on what it was that you wanted to do. Okay? So that could be as small or as big as you want to take up on your screen. All you're doing is holding down the control button. Okay? Now,
Okay.
if you wanted to crop your camera, you would hold the Alt button and you would aim for the corner that you want to crop and you would move it. I think that thing's turned yellow there in the corner. So as you can see here, I can crop as much of the background out as I would like to.
Pretty cool. Okay.
Alright. So if you guys aren't working with a webcam right now, then obviously that's going to be a little bit more difficult for you to do. But that's the point. So that same trick works with pretty much most things. There are a couple of things that you're going to give you a bit of pain here and there, but usually most things work like this. So if I want to bring back in a certain amount of an area, I'm going to hold down my Alt key again, and I'm going to drag it all the way back out, and I'm going to do the same here, holding down the Alt key. Okay? If I want to make my camera bigger again, I'm going to push the control, and I'm going to pull on one of these squares, and I'm going to leave my camera. Now, if I decide that my camera is in its perfect place over here, I'm going to go down to my little menu here. With my eye icon is on, I'm just going to click lock. Now at this point, nothing, if I'm clicking and pressing here, nothing can happen to this camera. It's stuck in place.
Where'd
Okay?
you press? Where'd you press? Oh, the lock key on
The padlock at the bottom, yeah, on the camera. Okay?
Okay.
So the same thing applies for any of these other different sources that we're including. So for example, if you didn't want to have any issues with your microphone, once that was set up and you knew that it was good to go and it's exactly the way how you want it to be, all you would do is, let's see here, you would just click on that lock and your microphone would stay right there. Okay?
Okay.
Same for your desktop audio. You're never going to need to change that, as far as I understand. You pretty much want that to be there until you specifically want to go and manipulate that. So you should pretty much always just have a lock on that. It saves you accidentally clicking the minus and making something disappear or something by accident. So I'd click on those and have those locked in place. The display capture, pretty much, it's going to be where it's going to be. It's going to be sitting in the middle of your screen, so having that locked is pretty decent. What's important to understand is this. When I was trying to explain to you guys earlier about the importance of your layers, that some things are more important than others, what you don't want to have, for example, is, say, your camera, you don't want to have that underneath everything else. Because by having it underneath everything else, that means the window captures on top, the display captures on top. You can't see audio, or so the microphone or the desktop audio, you can't see those, so those are irrelevant. That doesn't matter. But these two being above your camera does. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes.
Excellent. So to ensure that my camera is always showing when I want my camera to be showing, I have to make sure that that's sitting above the things that I'm showing behind, right? And it has to look that way on this. So these are the most very
Okay.
basic parts of how you would get that running. Now, if you needed to make any adjustments to your sound, let's just quickly just go into here. If you look on, for example, the headset microphone here at the bottom, there's this little cog here, the gear. You can go into here and you can click Advanced Audio Properties, and this will bring you into this area where we can see our audio devices here. So it counts the camera because the camera can record. I don't have this camera set to record, but it can record, so it includes this in the list. But here you can make adjustments to time delays if you need to. I suggest you leave that off. You can make adjustments to the volume here. So if, for example, you wanted your desktop audio to be reduced, which is probably usually the case in most instances, if you're running ACC, for example, the car is very loud, you might want to have your desktop audio running a bit quieter, so you would manipulate that in here. You can obviously switch things between left and right for any stereo options that are available. I'm going to make a separate note here just for your boom mic when you collect that. If you run that through a fast track type interface, as I do for example, it will only record that signal in mono, the signal coming into the computer. So when the playback comes, it will only play it back in mono unless you select this option here. By selecting this option here, lets the computer know that the signal that's coming into it is a mono signal, but it will split it over the two speakers once it knows that you've checked this here. So just bear that in mind for boom mics versus headset mics, because headset mics seem to work just fine. We're cool, guys?
Yep.
Yep. Cool.
Excellent. The other thing that you may want to pay attention to is your monitoring, which in this instance would only be relevant to desktop audio and headset audio. So in here, you can have monitor off, which I currently have. You can have monitor only, but to mute the output. So what that would do is, for example, on a headset microphone, that would allow for you to hear yourself, but nobody else would be able to hear you. Or you can have the option of monitor and output. So that would allow for you to hear yourself, but it would also allow for the audience to hear you too. So these are your options. But I normally leave this on monitor off because I can't stand hearing myself as I'm speaking and trying to explain things. So I leave that off. Desktop audio is something that I leave off also. I don't need to hear what's going on because it's already coming through my headset as it is. I don't need to then additionally monitor that because that's going to give me a double up and I don't need that drama. So I leave that off as well. And that's pretty straightforward there. So we're cool as to how to set it up basically and how to control all of these different things, whether you are live streaming or if you're recording. Are we okay with that so far?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going
Excellent.
to take some experimentation, but yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to mess around. You're gonna have to look at the video again. There's no doubt that there's gonna be things that you're gonna possibly forget if it's not been done now, or if you want to change something later on, you might forget the way how it goes. I forget this stuff all the time. I'm forever looking at videos to try and remind me of certain little bits. I may not have done something for a bit. It helps to remind me. So it's perfectly fine. That's okay.
Yeah.
All right.
My
Sorry.
headset, I have done it. I can control everything on the headset.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. So what we don't have here, we have a very basic streaming setup here in terms of functional. It can do what it needs to do. It doesn't look pretty, but it can do what it needs to do. would you prefer that we set ourselves up with some additional types of scene and we can worry about prettiness maybe in lesson 2? Or would you prefer to worry about pretty now and worry about additional scenes in lesson 2? I think it should go the other way around, but what do you guys think?
It doesn't matter to me. No.
Okay,
Yeah, you pick.
alright, good. So I think what we should do for now, we'll do how to have scenes. Reason being is, unless you're a machine, you're going to need to have a break. You're definitely going to be starting your stream at a certain point and you will be ending your stream. So to me, the most basic and simple things are this right here. Yes, it's on paper. So it would be basic scenes. So you'd need a start and soon screen, a main stream, a break screen, and an ending screen. With options of having a chat screen, a game recording screen, and a talk screen. Right? So in our scenes on the left hand side here, I just currently have scene. That's all it's called. So I'm going to rename this and I'm going to call this one main. Right? So if we want to add an additional scene, you would click this plus button in the bottom corner. And for example, you're going to call this one starting soon. By creating that, it's taking me into the other window. So what we're going to do, let's see, I'm going to go studio mode. So this is something that's quite helpful as well. Studio mode allows you to have 2 screens that run at the same time. If you guys go ahead and click that, you're going to see that right now.
Yep.
Excellent. So click studio mode again, you're back down to 1 screen. So 2 screens allows for you to have your current program on the right hand side. So this is what's going out to the world right now. And this thing here in the preview screen is what you're queuing up. The reason I've flipped over to this is not to confuse you guys for the moment, so you can just ignore it and pretend that you're using the 1 screen. But for me, for the moment, because I'm trying to mess with 2 different things, I need to pull this up so that I can show you guys whilst working through the scene. So, for your starting scene, if we get to setting that up, we are going to want to put this time something very basic. So let's go for hitting the plus and then we're going to hit an image. And we're going to call this background image. And you're going to hit OK. Now, let's bring up another dialog menu for you. And you're going to browse. And we're just going to pick any old picture that you feel like. So for me, I'm going to go to my graphics folder. You can pick any picture you want though. And you're not live streaming, so it doesn't even matter right now. Anybody can see whatever it is. So for me, I'm gonna go and I wanna grab my Challenger Sim Racing wallpaper. And I'm gonna click OK. And what that does is that's brought me through the absolutely huge one, because that's the size of it. So you're gonna want to try and pick something that's preferably the size that you're actually of your resolution if you don't have to mess around. If not, what your option is, just as I'm doing here, if you push the control button and you grab a corner, you can just shrink this manually until it fits where you're going. So this is a giant image with a very high resolution, so hence having to manipulate it as much as I did. But holding down the control, you can pretty much set it to where it needs to be set to. And there we have our background image. You guys cool with that so far?
Oh, I lost you 5 minutes ago, but that's all right.
Okay. Alright. Let's go back. It's not that hard. Let's go back. So where did you lose me at?
About getting the which button to hit to get the background.
Okay, so alright, so let's scrap this then. Let's scrap that all together. We're going to do it again together. So, see where the sources option is?
Yes.
Okay, so you're going to hit the plus button there. Then you're going to hit image. Okay, and then you're going to get this little dialog box here that pops up here.
Yeah, got it.
And click OK. Oh, wait, hang on a sec. Sorry, for me, I didn't mean to do that. Let's just delete that. Let's pretend I didn't do that. Alright, so here, image, and then I'm going to call it background image. So we're together so far, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So image file in this other browser window here, if you hit browse, for me personally, this is the way how my computer is laid out. But you can go to anywhere that you have a picture on your computer and use
Okay.
any picture you want to use just for the purposes of a demonstration.
Okay.
So it could be a family picture, a doggy picture, anything. It's all good. So
Good.
once you've done that, you hit open, and that is going to drop your picture. It's going to give you a preview of your picture here, as you can see. So this matches what I've selected, right?
Yep.
Okay. And I'm going to hit... Oh, wait. Let's see what the defaults are. Oh, whoops. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Let's go back here. Let's click this again. Click open. Let's click OK. Alright. So for me personally, the image that I chose is a massive image with a high resolution. So even though we're working on a space here that is 1080 by 1920, it's giving me a picture that's like 5-10 times the size. So I'm going to hold the control button whilst pushing my mouse over this little corner here, and I'm going to just drag the size down, right? And I'm going to slide it up. So hopefully, if you chose a picture that was of the correct resolution, it should just fit straight in that spot. But if it doesn't, you can just squish the picture, push Control, grab the corner, pull it down, left click, slide your picture. So the same way we manipulate the camera earlier is the same way you're going to manipulate this.
Okay.
Alright. A lot of it's rinse and repeat. So do you have a background image where it used to be black?
I have the image. Yes. I have the image. I just don't know where to put it.
Okay, well you're going to try and make it take up the whole thing.
Okay, got it. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, you're just giving it a background right now. So it's the whole thing you're doing. You're just putting any background. It could be
Okay.
smiley
Got it.
faces, whatever you want. Anything. So all we're doing right now, we're just making our starting soon screen. Because again, you're going to need certain basic screens, right? So
Yes.
you're going to need a starting screen, you're going to need a main screen, you're going to need a break screen, and you're going to need an ending screen, right? So,
Okay. Got it. Yeah.
cool. So, for my starting screen, my real one, I have things like a video running, I have merch alerts going off in the corner, and a bunch of different stuff. But to have a stream starting soon screen, all you literally need is this background image here, for example. You could just put a lock on that if that's in a place where you're happy with. Obviously, it's just meant to be taking up the whole entire background. You're going to hit plus again, and you're going to look for text. And that's going to bring you up an option here for text.
Got it.
Okay, great. So we're going to write starting soon text. And you're going to hit OK. That's going to bring you up to another box.
Okay.
This box, let's see, it won't let you change. Oh yeah, you can change the size of the box if you need to. So you can pull and drag on the box if you have to, and yank it around if you need to change the size of it or any of that. But here we're going to change the font. So we click select font at the side. You can pick any font you like. I like Beavers, so we're going to put Beavers on there. And the text that I want to write in here, I want to write in capitals, stream starting soon. Dot dot dot. Okay. So, you cool with me so far, guys, right?
Yes.
Excellent. you could choose the color of your text. So you'd select color. You can either choose one of these preset colors from in here, or you can mess with this color maker thingamajig, and with the sliders you can make colors darker, lighter, whatever it is you need to do, right? And you can pick your colors if you so feel like doing that. I also have some custom colors set here in the corner. You can add those later on if you so need to do. But for now, white text is good enough over my picture because it will work. So I'll leave that for now. You can also change the opacity of the text in here. So for example, if I want full text, as you can see here, it's giving me on the preview screen. We're seeing that it's full white text. If we wanted to make that a bit more transparent, we could do that, as you can see here. Can make that as transparent as we want, all the way down to nothing, or 100%. We also have the option to add a gradient to that if we wanted to. So all of these things start to get a little bit more complicated, and if you guys want to go into that in a bit more depth at a later time, we can do. But for now, I'm just trying to get you to the place where you can just do the thing. So is that cool with you guys for now?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's good.
yes,
Okay,
good.
alright. I don't want to like overcomplicate it too much. Alright. So with this, you can set, for example, the alignment of your text. So you could center the text if you needed to. You can have it set so that it's at the top, the center. You can do all of these different things here. You can outline your text if you need to, and then you can select the color of the outline if you needed to do that. So like a stroke around your text. We're not going to do any of that type of stuff right now because we just literally want it to just be basic. So now that we've done that and we've chosen this, can I change the size in here? Yes, I can. So if we push the control button, as we have done with everything else, the reason we're pushing control is to make sure that it stays proportional. So I don't know if you remember, like when things used to always constantly appear squished because people didn't know how to keep pictures proportional. By holding control, this is what allows us to keep it proportional the whole time. So, for example, I would like my stream starting soon to be up here at the top. But you guys are welcome to put that wherever it is that you would like to put that. I recommend once you found the place that you want it to be in, you'd hit the lock button so that it stayed there, and again, it wouldn't be able to be manipulated by accident as you're adding additional features.
So when you lock it and you want to add something later on, you can leave it locked and then add it on.
Add on what, sorry? Like as
So
in
like you're locking the text,
Mhm,
right? Once you get it the way you want it. But
mhm.
say you want to add some more text, you need to unlock it to add more text, or
if
can
you
you add text to it
if you
while
wanted
it's locked?
right, so if you wanted to add more text to this, I would unlock this first. You can double click on it to access it, and then I would say add the extra, right? Like this, and I would click OK, and then I would reposition my text in the way that I wanted it, and then I would lock it. But if I decided
Right,
after
okay.
that I made a mistake, I would unlock that, double click it, and I'd say, you know what, I don't want that in a minute. I think it's silly. I'm gonna get rid of that. Click OK. We're back to normal. I push my thing back to the middle, hit the lock button, good to go.
Right, okay. I got it.
Alright. So, it's the start and soon screen. So you obviously aren't really interested in having things like your camera on. You aren't necessarily interested in having people hearing what you're hearing in this right now because it's essentially the waiting room, right? So what I like to do in this particular instance, you guys have been on my channel, I like to add background music. So here we would click the plus button again at the bottom, and we would go for an audio output capture, right? And we're just gonna call this one background music and hit OK. You guys are cool with that?
Yes.
Yep.
Excellent. Then what I want you to do is to go back over to that. I want you to highlight that, where it says background music, and I want you to hit the minus icon. And then it's going to say to you, are you sure you wish to remove background music? And you're going to say yes. And the reason you're going to say yes to that is because I just made a mistake, because that's not what I was trying to make you do. I do want to add background music, but that is not the way to do it. So let's hit the plus again. Sorry, guys. And this time we're going for media source. This is how we're going to add our background music. So
Okay.
now in here, you're going to type background music. And just to say, like, mishaps happen continually. You guys have seen me on live stream and I think everything's set and stuff's not working. It happens constantly. This is constantly a learning process, so at no point do I ever want you guys to feel too frustrated with yourselves at any stage when you're going through this later on and you're trying to figure things out, because me, I still need help today as much as I'm showing you guys what's going on right now. So never feel bad about that. Like, it's just how it is. Once you've got through that,
Okay.
you have a second option here. Your second window jumps up, which is properties for background music, and it offers you the option to choose a local file, right? You guys have that?
Yep. Yep.
Excellent. So you're gonna click browse, and for me, it's gonna have, I'm gonna choose a song. You guys pick a song, any song right now. Now, obviously, you're gonna watch out. You're not gonna pick James Brown or whatever it is when you're doing this for real, because you don't have any copyright issues. So there's plenty of places to get copyright-free music from. Or if you happen to be musicians yourself and make any of your own music, you're obviously free to use that as well. To save yourself having any problems with anybody in copyright stuff. So the music that I use on Challenger Sim Racing, the original piece of music that was used for maybe the first year, that was a piece of music that I wrote myself. I didn't need permission from anybody to use it on my live streams. When I started to introduce other pieces of music, it was all royalty-free music. So if you guys need to get some access to sort of where you can find that, a lot of that's in the YouTube library itself, where you can get a ton of that music. It's just there for you to be able to use. But for now, use whatever's in your collection, just for the purposes of this. So for now, I'm going to select this song here, and I'm going to hit open. And here inside we have a few options once we get there. So have you guys selected your song?
Yep.
Okay, cool. You got a song, Stefan?
I don't have music on this computer, but yeah, I've got it. Yeah.
Boring.
Yeah. I was a DJ for 42 years. I'm music free now.
That's fair enough, man. I understand. Sometimes it's how it has to be. It's all good. I totally
Music
get that.
place.
That's okay.
No, I'm being facetious. I do have thousands of CDs and music, but not on this computer.
Yeah, no, I totally understand. That's perfectly fine. The thing is you said about the DJ thing, and it's just sometimes after a while you don't need all that stuff anymore, right? So it's okay to kind of have it when you want it, where you want it. That's cool.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, no, I get that, man. That's all good.
And there's nothing wrong with James Brown either.
No, hell no. I just don't want James Brown's great grandson coming for me looking for the royalties. So, I don't want the issue. But no, James Brown's cool.
Yeah,
Um,
license. Yeah.
all right. So once you have your local file selected, obviously, Stefan, you don't have anything right now. Mike, you're good with what you have right now. You have the option here to loop it. So I don't know when I say that I'm gonna start a stream soon, how long I'm gonna be. Like I might start it 10 minutes before the stream comes on. I might start it 3 minutes before the stream comes on. I don't know what's gonna happen. So I'm perfectly happy to loop the music at the beginning. And if it plays over and over again, it keeps people busy. And if I have to come back, if it's only gonna play for a short time, that's fine too. Loop doesn't hurt me. So I automatically loop the music.
Okay.
The next option here is restart playback when source becomes active. So what happens is this. What we haven't done as yet, but what we are gonna do is be changing between scenes. When you change between scenes, having this selected means that when you go away from the scene, anytime you come back to it, the music will begin again from the beginning. So it will still loop, but it will begin from the beginning every time you select this scene. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
makes sense.
Alright, so use hardware decoding when available. I don't mess with that. Show nothing when playback ends. I don't care about that. That's kind of irrelevant right now. Close file when inactive. We're going to leave that unchecked. Speed at 100% because that's fine. Color range, we don't even have to mess with that because audio. You're going to hit OK. That's that. So right now on the stream, I think you guys should be hearing music technically if you don't have the stream muted. Care about that? That's technically.
Yeah.
Let's see. You do hear music or no? Wait, why is that not playing? Is it playing? No, it's not playing. Why is the music not playing? I ask you to get the song. Loop, restart when I select the scene.
You need to go out of studio mode?
That's so weird. Music.
That's a nice green screen you got back there.
Thank you very much. I think it seems we're going back to basics. I might as well show it as it really is. So I felt a bit funny at first, and I was like, you know what? Like, yeah, we're doing everything raw right now anyway. Why is the music not popping up though? That's super weird. It's supposed to be in the mixer. Why is it not? Let's see here. Did I make you guys go to the wrong thing? No, I didn't. Media source is correct. Why is that media source not playing? I don't understand. That is so weird.
Do you have to be streaming or anything?
Sorry?
Do you have to be streaming or to do that? To play? Or is it
No,
just
no, no. It should play in the background by itself. It normally does to the point of annoyance, so I don't understand why now it's showtime it's trying to be silly. I'm just gonna try and grab the same song but from a different place. Let's see if that makes a difference. Let's go with okay. I'm just gonna go down here to see. Yeah, it's not even popping up as an option on here. Why? That is so weird.
instead of a song I noticed it loads MP4s. I have a video playing. Since it's media, I have a video playing but no sound.
Hmm.
That's interesting.
Hmm. Very interesting.
But the audio background music says it's playing. So what is going on here? Let me.
Yeah, it's not even popping up in my option here. That's super weird. Hmm.
Yeah, mine isn't either. I'm playing and it should be. It should be. Even though it is a video, it's still audio.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Let me try something else. I'm gonna flip this into something different. Yeah, that's really weird because it's supposed to come up in the audio mixer as well. You're supposed to get an option in there too. So that's pretty strange that that's not showing up. But I don't know. And this had an update today, so I don't know. I hope that's not broken. But let's see here. I don't know. Let's try that, for example. What does that do? That's not giving me anything. Let's just pick that for
Why
example.
wouldn't it? It's playing. Maybe you have to direct it to the output.
That is so strange. It doesn't normally do that.
Put capture. Yeah.
Wait. Alright, so now I'm gonna end up googling the thing right now. Let's see here. Cannot add music OBS. That's weird. Media.
Okay, that background music audio. It's playing, but why isn't it coming through?
Yeah, it's not even. Are you even seeing an option popping up on your audio mixer?
Yeah, it says background music. It's actually playing, but it's not coming up into the speakers.
Right. Okay, yeah, cool. Mine's not even showing up inside of my audio mixer, which is super weird.
And I'm doing a movie. So, I mean, well, it's a video, so I don't see any kind of a
Let's try this here.
selection.
That is so weird.
Properties for, no, that's not. Wow, that's, yeah.
Oh, amazing lesson.
Does yours work, Mike?
Yeah, I'm not fooling around with that right now.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
just
that's right. That might.
yeah.
I'm racing at Monza, so it should be.
Oh, okay, so now I have music working. Oh, amazing lesson. Yeah, now it's showing up. That's so weird. The exact same thing I did before, I just picked a different song. Let's see. So now I have music working. Yep. That is so weird.
Mine's playing, but I'm not getting the audio out.
But your audio won't come out. Okay, so that's because, let's see here. You need to click. You can see it in your audio mixer, right?
Yes.
Click the little cog where the music is. And then it should take you to advanced properties.
Okay.
So do you have monitoring off on?
All of them.
They're all off, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that should be good. And still nothing's coming through the speaker. So let's try your sounds. Desktop audio is supposed to double click your desktop audio for a second.
Yeah.
Now, what device do you have selected?
My speaker's headphone.
What you're hearing me through right now, basically, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You talk and it moves. Yes.
Cool. Alright, that's cool. So if that's selected and that's on OK, then I don't understand why you're having an issue, to be honest, right now. I don't get that, but then I don't understand why I just had an issue either. Let's see here. Let's go with graphics.
Let's see here. I'm trying to figure out. I don't think that's it. Yeah, I'm getting the audio. The audio is going somewhere because the bar is moving.
Okay, great. Yeah, that's okay now. So if you were to go into that same, if the bar is moving, you're fine. So if you were to go into that same cog that we just clicked back there, if you were to change your source, where it says monitor off, if you were to turn that on to monitor and output, so the bottom option, then you should hear the music as well now.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay.
Great. Racing on. Okay.
All right, good stuff.
Now I'm gonna turn that off.
All right. Okay, I'm just happy we got that far. So that's cool. Let's see if this is gonna work this time. I'm just gonna click OK.
Yeah.
Yes, the music is working now for some reason. So it didn't want to work before, but now it is. Okay, so you got music, I got music. Mike, do you have music?
I'm just following along.
Okay, alright, that's cool. So we now have music for our background, for our sorry, for our starting screen. We have music. Wait, you're not right, are you? I want to get rid of that. Yeah, kind of. So the thing with that, you're pretty much right. So like a lot of it, you can once you've gotten this far, you've seen enough to be able to start to figure your way out and straight stuff, right? Right. Or you could use the eye icon and just use it as well, right? So there's many different ways to do any task that you want to be able to do here. The only thing is, some things are very specific and it doesn't always necessarily make sense in the way that you're used to seeing certain things sometimes, despite those interfaces being very similar, right? But the general principle is roughly the same, yeah. So, with a quick look on a Google, if you've forgotten how to do something, as long as you can roughly ask the right question, you already have enough knowledge to be able to sort of figure your way throughout the situation, which is amazing. That's the point you want to be at. Alright, so what I'm going to do here now is, because of all that messing around, we added the music to our main. I'm going to add that as a source here to my starting screen, because I want the starting screen to have a background picture, I want it to have the text to say that people are coming on, and I want it to have the music. So here I've clicked the plus button, and instead of creating a new source, I've just hit add existing, because we already have the music here and we're going to use the exact same music. So I'm just going to hit OK, and then what that's going to do is that gives me a music option here as well, right? I know what went wrong before, it's because I was in like studio mode. That's what happened. I was in studio mode and I was basically working on one window, but like was expecting the results to come out of the other. That's why it didn't work. It's my fault, not its fault. But yeah, so now we have music. If you want to hear the music, you're just gonna click on the icon, your gear icon in the bottom corner, and then I can turn monitoring and output on, which gives me the music too. But that's obviously super annoying, and I really don't want it like that. And the music's way too high right now as well. But what I need to pay attention to here, in studio mode, this starting screen is highlighted, so that means this is what I'm manipulating here. But the audio mixer is hearing what's over here in the actual program. So that's the difference between the two things here. So this is where sometimes you may find you might do something and it doesn't think that you didn't think it works. The reason being is, have you got the right one selected as to what you're actually trying to manipulate. You're trying to manipulate starting soon, highlight that, adjust your adjustments here. If you want to deal with main, you click main, make your adjustments, right? Okay, that's cool. So now that we've got that, we have a basic starting soon screen and a main screen. I'm going to drag my starting soon screen above my, or I'm going to drag my main screen below. If that's how it prefers, yeah, sure. So I have starting screen, I have main, right? Now I want to add myself a break screen. So I'm going to hit the plus button. In fact, actually, let's go about this in a slightly different way. You do realize that you could hit the plus button and create yourself a brand new one, right? But what we could also do is duplicate this one. So if we were to hit this, we can hit duplicate, and we can call this whatever we want to call it. So in this instance, I'm going to call it break screen. Okay? And then it's now made us a break screen. But the break screen looks exactly the same as the start and soon screen. And if I click between these two, you can't tell the difference. But that's absolutely fine. So, from the break screen, we're gonna add, I don't know if this is actually a way that made the most sense, but anyway, alright, we're gonna add text, and we're gonna say break in that text, and we're gonna create new text, because what you don't want to do is add existing text, because it would mess with the current text that's there, and that will change it in the other window too. So you want to make sure that you're creating a brand new instance of text that's different to the other one. If not, it will interfere with it. So again, as we said, we like Beavers. So I'm going here for Beavers again. I'm going to click OK. And the text is going to say break back in a minute. Okay? Same thing. So, rolling down here. All this stuff, you can mess with it if you need to. Center and center. A lot of the time, I like to do that because it saves my stuff from being offset. Click OK. Boom, you're good to go. But what you now have is this, which is too big. So I'm going to use the control and I'm going to shrink it a bit. And I'm just going to drag it back into the middle of my screen over here. What I do not want, however, is this stream starting soon text. I want that to be gone. So I can either do one of two things. I can either use the I to get rid of it so that it doesn't show up there, or I can use the minus to remove it. Let's go here. So I have to make sure it's selected, sorry, and then I can remove it. And then I'm gonna do this. Now if we go back to start and soon, we see that the start and soon text is still here. And if we go back to the break screen, we see that the break text is here, right? But we've gotten rid of the starting soon text. You do need to make sure you make a second instance, if not it wipes out the original text. Cool with that, guys?
Yep,
Yeah,
got
the
it.
brain is starting to explode, but yeah.
Alright, lesson's gonna be over in a minute. Because what we're gonna do this, we're gonna do the ending screen, and then that's gonna be that. So it's almost over. So here we are using a background image. This background image is the same background image that's on our start and soon screen. If you want a different image, what you would do is you would click the plus button, you would go here, you would grab a different image, right? So I'm gonna call this one different. For example, I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to browse through my documents to wherever it is that I have a picture that I want to use. You're going to do the exact same to wherever it is you want to get your picture from. And
How did you duplicate your, you said you duplicated, how did you do that?
how did I duplicate the start screen?
Yeah.
Duplicate the start screen by picking,
Oh, got it, okay.
you right click it, yeah? It's okay, it's alright, it's cool.
I thought there was a secret.
Yeah, no. Sometimes it happens though, like if you do a quick move in a tutorial and somebody blinks for a second, sometimes that's the moment when you missed whatever the thing is. So I totally get that, man. It's cool. Alright, so we got a picture of our friend Stiggy here. He's gonna be the person we're gonna use as our background. Wait, oops, I just messed that up. Oh no, here we go. So yeah, break screen. But I said I don't want the Challenger Sim Racing picture. I want the picture of Stiggy. Stiggy's gonna be our break screen for a second. Okay. So is he the size that I want him to be? Not quite. So I'm gonna hold the control button and I'm gonna pull him in, push him in the corner, and I'm gonna make it the size that I want it. Okay. So let's say that this is the size I'm happy with. Now, he's sitting above everything else. I no longer want this background image here. So I'm going to remove it by hitting the minus key, and it gets rid of my original background image. I am going to take my brake text, and I want that to be at the top. So I make sure that different, the picture different, is behind the back in a minute text. Right? So I get to control that. So now we have brake and back in a minute. We still have music running here in the background, which again you can control from here. Okay? And that takes care of everything. Now, I want you guys to just note something here. On the start screen and on the brake screen, there is no audio coming from the desktop, and there is no headset mic. So whilst these things are being shown, because we are using studio mode, whilst they're being shown in the audio mixer, right, they're not relevant to the start soon screen or the brake screen, because we have not added them into the sources. They only exist in the main screen. You guys with me?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Alright, good stuff. Last page, lesson over. So we're going to go here to brake screen. In fact, no, we're going to go and do it a different way again. Alright, we're going to click the plus button here. And we're going to type in end screen. Okay? So, we have no sources once again. So, do one of you guys want to tell me how it is that we're going to populate this one? How would you go about it?
Go ahead, Stefan.
That was slim, Mike. I like it. Welcome to class, Stefan. So how would you do this? How are you going to get your background image up here? So teach me how to do it. I've forgotten how to do it. Teach me. So I have a blank screen. What do I do, sir?
Hit the plus under sources,
Okay, and then what do I click? Image, okay. Oh, that brings me a dialog box.
Yep.
Okay.
Then ending screen, I guess, and then hit OK.
Okay.
Oh, it's me. Hold on. Count. And then okay, and it'd take me to another dialog box, and I would browse and bring in whatever ending screen I wanted to use, or I could use media, record thank you for coming or whatever it is, blah blah blah. See you next time. Depends what I want to do, right? I could do image, I could do audio capture again, I could do but with the image I could also type more text again. Your face is not looking good.
You could also do an image slideshow.
Yeah.
You guys, you passed. You passed, that's it. You passed.
Woohoo!
You passed. What else do I need to tell? You've gotten to the point where you're actually being creative with it. We've gone from just a few minutes ago, what magic did you do when you just duplicated that? You just told me like 5 or 6 different solutions as to how you could resolve this problem right here. That's 5 or 6 different ways you could resolve that. That is absolutely brilliant. And like, yeah, that's great. So you choose your picture. So in this instance, I don't know, I'm gonna pick this t-shirt thing over here, and I'm gonna put that up, for example, as part of my ending screen. But you guys could choose, again, you could choose whatever it is that you wanted to choose, as you quite rightly say, and you can use combinations of things. So the music, the video, what your images, whatever it is that you feel that you are comfortable using, yep, that's what you go for. And you do that.
I think I'm going to record the scenes from ACC and then use those. Since that's the only thing I really read. So you start with ACC, the cars moving, and
Exactly, most definitely. It's a creative way of doing it. And if you're very good with the video editing software or anything like that, you can actually choose your moments from ACC, right? From the replays and all this kind of stuff. You can edit your own videos in a way ahead of time. So yeah, that's brilliant. And all that stuff gets included on here. What's beautiful is because it's local into your system and it's not pulling it off of the internet. It's not using it through a browser or any of this type of stuff. It's just fresh and it doesn't slow your system down at all. So yeah, you guys have done.
That's good. It doesn't have a hit.
Yeah, basically, pretty much, because it's drawing it from your own system. So that's really cool. The only thing I think with you guys, to be honest, your settings aren't even going to be messed up like mine, because I changed mine to have my, as I was explaining, my graphics card run part and my CPU run the other part. Now that there's a 2070 in there, I don't even think I need to do that anymore. I can switch it back to CPU, but by default, it's on your graphics anyway. It will be on your graphics card, so I don't even need to show you that right now. So you guys are cool. So
Right on.
that's it. You guys didn't you didn't lose your patience with me. You managed to get through an hour and 45 minutes, and it was a little bit difficult at the beginning, obviously starting from complete scratch, because this isn't something even I do. So yeah, that's really cool. But no, you guys have done well. You followed along really well, and you've got it. By the end of it, you understand what it is that you're doing. So just to throw a few things in there with you, just towards just for you to think about. So any of these pictures, all these different things that you can bring in overlays as well. You can bring in things that cover over your camera. So for example, when you see on Challenger Sim Racing, I have like a red cover around my camera. I can raise that. I can put like shadows underneath things. I can have the green screen show whatever I want it to have. So there's all these different things. Obviously, the more and more you learn about OBS, the more and more you can do all of these different things using a lot of the same techniques that we found here. There's things with filters and stuff like that I'll show you guys at a later date, but that's getting a little bit more advanced, and it'd be good for you to start practicing with this to start off with. But you guys have done really well.
Definitely agree. And it looks like you're just scratching the surface with what you can do here.
Yeah, basically. I mean, it's incredibly powerful software. I'm nowhere near any. I'm a maybe an intermediate user at best at this right now. There's people who are brilliant at doing this. What helps me is because I can think creatively and I think about putting things in a certain type of way, and I'm getting more familiar with the OBS software. Not only that, they updated it today as well with some very crucial updates. The ability to be able to undo your work, to Control Z and to go back a step, that didn't exist just a little while ago. So this update today has brought that with it. So it's going to be easier software to use going forward. Definitely looking forward to that. Definitely. So
Right on.
Thank you, sir, very much.
that's absolutely brilliant. Stefan, thank you very, very much for joining today. Mike, thank you again. If you guys have any questions, obviously feel free to hit me up in Discord or whatever the situation is. If you guys are interested in doing a follow-up to this at a later date, if you have questions and things that you think might be beneficial to other people, maybe we could do it in this environment again, so that we can share the knowledge, obviously, and take it from there.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very, very much, Stefan. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mike. Thanks, guys, for joining in the chat. Evelio, Richie, Asus, John, all you guys, thank you very, very much for supporting and being here, as you always are. Much appreciated. You guys take care. I'm gonna kill the stream now. Alright, we will see you another time. You get no end screen this time. Not really. So it's just gonna be a bye-bye. Alright.